Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Prepping by Faith, and today we're going to go over some last minute food preps before a cyber attack. And I just want to clarify, this isn't going to be a typical food haul video. It's going to be a little bit different. I just wanted to put together some things that I think that you guys need to make sure you have plenty of. So here we go. We're going to start with this long grain white rice. You want to store white rice over the brown rice. You can store some brown rice, but the oils in it make it degrade a lot faster. If you're going to store this stuff for long term, you're going to want to package it in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers after you have frozen it to make sure you've killed off any egg larvae for a couple days. Let it dry out before you start packaging it up. I also have under here some dried beans. And I did want to mention with the dried beans, we need to think about how much water those are going to be using. And if water is going to be scarce in an SHTF, you may want to go ahead and start taking some of these dried beans and pressure canning them so you already have some ready to go and they're not going to be taking up all of your water. With beans, you have to wash them thoroughly, rinse them several times. They have to soak. They use a lot of water. So maybe consider pressure canning some of these. And if that's not in your wheelhouse, then maybe you want to think about stocking up on more of your canned beans that are already ready to go for you. Here I have just some black beans, and then I also have some pinto beans here. I wanted to mention canned foods. We need stuff like diced tomatoes. There's also, other versions of tomatoes, stewed tomatoes. That way you can make your chilies and your sauces and things like that. I have here a bunch of canned chicken breast. You obviously need lots of canned meat in an SHTF situation. I have over here canned fruit. So you're going to want to stock up on canned fruit for your family, canned vegetables. We're not going to be able to get fresh, so we're going to want plenty of this stuff in our prepper pantries. I also have here just some cream of chicken soup. You want to have boxes of stuff like this because not only could you eat it in a pinch, with some homemade biscuits or something like that, but you can also make plenty of casseroles and different dishes out of cream of chicken, cream of mushrooms, stuff like that. So you want plenty of cans of this in your preps. I have here a bunch of spices, just the garlic salt, chili powder. You definitely want to have like your minced onion. We want plenty of salt, pepper. And then I also have here just some, beef base. And then I have the chicken base. I would also suggest stocking up on chicken stock and beef broth and that kind of thing, just to help stretch your water. Because if you have this, you are going to have to mix it with water. And like we said, if water is scarce, that's going to reduce your water supply. So anything to kind of think of that's going to help manage your water supply. So those there. I also have pasta, and I kind of wanted to mention something about pasta. I want to get you guys thinking about volume. I have pasta here, and I also have pasta sauce. But you're going to want to do, I know a lot of you don't want to do math calculations, but that's going to be really important when you're prepping. So the easiest way to kind of break this down is to think to yourself, well, how often am I eating pasta? So in our case, we're going through about a box every time I make it for my family for a meal. So that's about 1 pound box of pasta. And if we eat pasta 3 times a week, that's going to be 156 1-pound boxes of pasta that I need to have stocked for my family for a year. So you need to start thinking in volume. And then you want to think about, well, how much sauce do I go through when I'm making that? For us, one of these jars of sauce, I can probably make that last for 2 meals, one of these larger ones like this. So then you would just need to divide that in half and have that much sauce stocked up to go with. Okay, so I want you guys thinking about that. We need to think about numbers. So over here, I also have a bunch of, I have coffee, a can of coffee. I have powdered creamer. I have tea. You want to think about those. We go through about a can of coffee once a month, that size. And then I wanted to talk to you guys about this. So this is just a stovetop percolator. So if you guys are thinking that you're going to just plug in your coffee pot into your generator, that is not going to work for you. That pulls down a lot of wattage. You can maybe run your coffee pot and then you won't have any, battery left to power anything else. So I would suggest you have one of these put up. And then I wanted to mention, it does take different filters than what your standard coffee pot takes. So you want to have some of these disc coffee filters put up to go with this thing. You could make your own in a pinch out of the ones that you have if you just wanted to trace out a circle and then kind of poke a hole in it. But in an SHTF, you may not have time to mess with things like that. So having as much stuff ready to go is going to make it a lot easier in that situation. I want you guys to think about stocking up large bags of pancake mix. We also want to have oatmeal, which I do have around here somewhere, canisters of oatmeal. We need to think about breakfast items. They're going to be, oh, here it is, that are going to be quick and easy and aren't going to use tons of water or other ingredients. This one here is a 10-pound bag. And I went ahead and did the math on that as well. For a family of 4, we go through about 2 cups per each time I make the pancakes. So we would need 8.2 bags of that to last us for a year. So that's quite a bit of volume when you start doing these math calculations and figuring out what you need. So you're going to want some syrup to go with that. I have here just some regular syrup that we like, but you also want to have maple syrup because this stuff lasts a lot longer. It lasts indefinitely as opposed to the other regular syrup. You want things like honey, peanut butter in your preps. Peanut butter is a great source of fat, and it also, is a great source of protein. So we need protein and fat in our diet. I want you guys to think about having lots of aluminum foil on hand. In an SHTF situation, we may not be able to cook with traditional dishes because we're cooking in different scenarios. We may be cooking on an outdoor surface. So having foil where you could make yourself a foil pack of food is going to be very convenient. And there are many things that you can do with foil besides just use it to cook with. So we want to have plenty of foil in our preps. We want to have plenty of trash bags on hand. We're still going to have trash that we need to deal with. We're going to have some sort of way of putting it into a container. So we want lots of trash bags. I have here some of the hash brown potatoes, just these potato flakes. I think you guys need to have those in your preps. Potatoes are filling. They're a good alternative to things like, rice and pasta. So I would suggest having plenty of boxes of those on hand. You can go ahead and package those for long-term storage as well. Powdered milk. You want to have some form of powdered milk. If you don't like the Nido, there are other options out there, but you're going to need milk, to go maybe in your oatmeal or to use in different things that you're cooking, those sorts of things. I have here a can of the dried whole egg powder by Augustin Farms. We do need some sort of eggs or egg substitutes to cook with. So consider putting those up in your preps. I have here vinegar. You're going to use vinegar for a lot of things. You might use it for preserving, you use it for cooking, you use it for cleaning. Same thing with baking soda. We use that for many different things as well. So think about big bags of baking soda, big containers of vinegar. It's cheap and it lasts a very long time. I also have here some yeast. You're going to need yeast. If you're going to be baking, you're going to need baking powder. You're going to need, what else did I have over here? You're going to need plenty of cooking oil. You have to have this if you're going to make bread or anything, really. And you need something, even if you're just using a couple tablespoons to keep your food from sticking when you're cooking. So plenty of containers of olive oil. I have here sugar. This is sugar that I've already packaged in Mylar for long-term storage. With sugar, you do not want to put oxygen absorbers in there or you will end up with a brick. So don't make that mistake. You can put them in there with things like your flour. I also have flour here. You want plenty of flour on hand. And then I just have some other things here like some nuts. And then I have some dried fruits, things like raisins that are going to last you quite a while. I would consider putting those in your preps. And then these semi-sweet chocolate chips. I just feel like you need some sort of a comfort food in there, whatever that comfort food is for you. And I feel like those would be good because you could not only eat a couple, or you could put them in your baking or whatever to make things a little bit more manageable in an SHTF situation. So I just wanted to share these with you guys. It's not by any means a complete list, but I feel like these are things that you definitely want to make sure you have plenty of for, for an SHTF situation like a cyber attack. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And remember to pray, prep, and put God first. God bless.